Most people believe that sending anything above the minimum payment means they are making real progress. I believed that for years. What I didn't understand was that where I sent the extra money and whether I stay consistent made much bigger difference than I realized. In this video, I want to show you what I was actually doing every month. And the moment I realized why my credit card balances barely seemed to move, no matter how responsible I thought I was being, I lived this for years before I understood what was happening. This isn't a theory I read somewhere. This is exactly what happened to me month after month, card after card. When my first paycheck of the month arrived, I would make the minimum payment on one of my credit cards and add a little extra, sometimes $20, sometimes $50, or a little bit more. There was no calculation behind that amount and no real plan. I simply sent whatever I thought I could afford that week because paying anything above the minimum felt responsible. Then I would look at the balance and wonder, why do I still owe this much? How am ever going to get through this? I felt trapped. There were even times when I left the credit card at home because I thought that if I could stop myself from using it, the balance would finally begin to drop. But here's what I didn't understand back then. I was sending extra payments without looking at how much interest I was being charged or how much of my payment was actually reducing the principal. Then the following month, I would choose a different card, whichever one felt most urgent at that moment. By constantly switching which card received the extra money, I never stayed with one balance long enough to see meaningful progress. I was paying more than the minimum, but I wasn't building momentum anywhere. The extra money was scattered across several cards. Interest continued accumulating. Every month felt like I was starting over. Deep down, I believe there had to be a way to make a real difference with the money I was already earning. I wasn't expecting the debt to disappear overnight. I simply wanted to see one balance consistently going down instead of making small extra payments. Everywhere, and wondering whether anything was changing. What I needed wasn't another random extra payment. I needed a strategy. I continue making the minimum payments on every card, but I choose one target card and send all my extra money to that same card every month. Scattering a little extra money across several cards felt safe because it seemed as though I was taking care of all of them. But feeling safe and seeing progress were not the same thing. My progress needed one place to land consistently, long enough for me to see one balance actually coming down. If you are currently spreading extra payments across several credit cards, because it feels like the responsible thing to do, add up how much extra you are sending all together. Then ask yourself, what would happen if I continue making the minimum payments on every card, but directly all of the extra money towards one target card? You may not need more money to begin seeing progress. You may need to stop scattering the extra money you already have. Thank you.